I'm sitting in one of my most favorite spots in all of Los Angeles. It's a tiny little courtyard named after one of my heroes, Bayard Rustin. Now, a lot of you may not know who he is, but I can promise you, you know his work. That March on Washington, where Dr. King delivered his famous I Have a Dream speech, Bayard Rustin is the man trusted in organizing that march. Bayard Rustin is so important to the civil rights movement that there's quite possibly wouldn't be Dr. King in terms of the way that we know him without its influence. You see, it was Mr. Rustin that taught Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. about the principles of nonviolence protesting. And one of the reasons why Bayard Rustin is one of my heroes is because he did all of this as an openly gay man. Not a closeted man, openly gay, during the civil rights movement. So I thought it was fitting that we will meet here with organizers of the All Black Lives protest march that's happening on Sunday, June 14th. And so here we are at the LGBT Center in Los Angeles, celebrating intersectionality, celebrating Black lives, celebrating queer lives, and talking to two men who are trying to make these two worlds one.
In the beginning, actually myself and one of my fellow CSW board members.
CSW?
Yes, Christopher Street West. This is the same organization that hosts LA Pride. And so as part of that leadership team, she and I proposed to do a solidarity effort, considering all that's been happening in the world around Black lives and the need for Black equality. CSW acknowledged that they were moving too quickly, needed to step back and away. This is not through any organizing support or sponsorship of CSW or LA Pride. This is actually happening through an independent group of Black community LGBT leaders and voices. This group is rightfully so titled BLACK, an acronym for Black LGBTQ+ Activists for Change.
I think it's important for us to speak on the homophobia in our Black community and speak on the racism in our LGBTQ community. So it's great to have that dialogue and find out ways that we can sort of have that conversation amongst two sides and still come to an understanding that as a Black gay man, our lives matter in both sides of the spectrum.
So I have to ask, because as soon as I hear the word all and lives and matter, I'm thinking one way. And then you have Black. So why did you feel the need to combine both of those things in the title?
And that's a great question. And so this was actually from a number of town halls and roundtables as far as community feedback, recognizing the very unique space and intersection of Black people and LGBTQ+ people. So often people who have intersectional identities are forced to pick. So do I celebrate my Blackness or do I celebrate my queerness? And we really wanted to create this as an opportunity to amplify and prioritize those individuals and communities at the intersection that are often not seen, under-resourced, and not heard.
Racism from the LGBTQ community, homophobia from the Black community. Do you feel homeless?
I don't feel homeless because I have a great support system. My family loves me for who I am. I have a great, my friends love me for who I am. So I was fortunate enough to never really feel homeless. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, so which is a pretty predominantly Black city. So maybe that's why. And I moved to Atlanta, which is a predominantly Black city. So to come here, and to see how Blacks are not treated, with equal rights from the gay community is kind of shocking, because coming from Atlanta, we don't experience that. The most shocking aspect of West Hollywood for me is going to every club in West Hollywood, every bar, and hearing them play our music, but not seeing me in there. And watching to see if they're gonna use the N-word, watching to see if they're gonna say it in these songs that we celebrate, and party to. And that was the most shocking part to me. I'm like, every bar on this street is playing hip hop music, or some kind of hip hop music, or some hip hop artist, and there's nobody like me in here. Like,
how does that happen?
Yeah, how does that happen?
It feels like it's on purpose.
Exactly.
Pride, lots of balloons, lots of music, lots of parties,
feathers,
glitter,
you know how we do.
and very little clothes. I've also been at the Black Lives Matter protests.
And it's not that.
But it's not that. There are no floats, there's music.
No glitter, no
there's
shirtless.
So what the hell are we gonna see?
But you're right. And so we have really been encouraging people to show up in what solidarity looks like the best for you. We know too, this is a new sort of visibility that we might not have ever seen. But we, like you just said, we both agree, we've always been here. And I think this is a time for us to really show up, highlight, prioritize, and amplify what showing up authentically always means.
If I had it my way, it would be the perfect blend of both. It would be the perfect blend of a civil rights march and a Stonewall parade. How would that look? I don't know, but it's more of a feeling.
And so I encourage people to show up and celebrate all Black lives, however you see fit, safely, respectfully, and in solidarity.
From the engagements that we've been receiving on social media and the website, we're projecting between 25 and 50,000 people. And that's a large number, for me at least. It's exciting to see so many people, so many different walks of life that are excited and that are engaging and want to be involved to some capacity. And I know that, I feel it, that this is going to be something very monumental for LA and for both communities involved.
When you think about our history in terms of the country's history, Black queer people have always been at the fore of the civil rights movement. The James Baldwins, when you think about Lorraine Hansberry, when you think about Bayard Rustin.
You know, I actually cite all of those individuals you named as my personal inspirations as well, and I just look at sort of what it looks like to be unheard or unseen and how much impetus that gives an individual to often do work that is thankless or under-resourced. We see that every day. I consider it actually a privilege to be able to connect with very diverse groups through my own lived experience, because we know that we are the experts of our own experience, and so being able to relate to somebody, even empathetically, is key to any kind of leadership. I live by a phrase that Dr. Cornel West says, that you can't lead our people if you don't love our people.